Hi, this is Dr. Tufel Chandiya from University of Srinagar campus, Badin. In this lecture, we would discuss the parts of a thesis and how a thesis is developed while we are writing a research thesis or dissertation. This class is being recorded for the students of BS English Part 4 who have taken research methodology as one of their major subjects. So, in this class, we would try to analyze the part of a thesis and we would try to understand that how can better we write a thesis, a composite thesis, and what is the significance and the contribution of each chapter when we are developing or writing a research thesis. Now, first chapter of every thesis is called introductory chapter. We call it introduction. And what things we include when we are writing introductory chapter of a thesis? First of all, we go to the introduction to the study. Here, in this under this has subheading because the central heading of the chapter is introduction. But on the subheading of this introduction to the study, we introduce the study. What is the study about? And what are its means its component and its field? What field we are going to talk about, and how we came across this type of study or this understanding, and what would be the area which is going to be discussed or which is going to be analyzed in the forthcoming parts of thesis. So, introduction talks about the introduction. Introduction. This segment talks about introduction to the study. Suppose you are going to analyze how Shakespeare uses similes or metaphor in his dramatic work. Then, in this part, you would introduce that what is means simile and a metaphor and how the people use it, and then finally you come that you want to know how Shakespeare has used this particular segment, and why do you want to know? Or you want to know that in which situation Shakespeare is using simile, either in order for the beauty of a language or in order to be representative of his feelings and emotion. So that could be any kind of a, frame of work, frame of reference, where from our theoretical framework, where from you want to analyze, you want to discuss that particular component. So this is the introduction. Then scope of the study determines that what area this study would encompass. So by writing scope, basically we limit the area, we limit the region, we limit the part, we limit the that particular space or a particular areas or field that study is going to cover, and what will be its implication and its benefits to us. So in this way, scope helps us to determine the limits or areas of that field, and what would be the outcome in that sense, and how those outcomes would benefit that particular region and area. Suppose you say that you want to study teachers training, and the scope of your study would be teacher training in a particular region, and then you will try to look at that what is the impact of a teacher training in that Sindh or Badin, etc. So this would be the scope, and after scope, we come to the objectives of the study. Now, see what's the objectives? Okay, you know, when we say objectives, we mean that आप क्यों करना चाहते हैं, इसकी क्यों जरूरत पड़ी. Whatever the research is conducted, definitely there are certain objects. कोई मकसद होगा for what you want to do, that you want to conduct that study. So that objectives, that वो आपका जो मकसद जो आप उसमें जाना चाहते हो, Why do you want to conduct research on teacher? Because I want to know that what's the impact of training on the teacher. Why do you want to conduct research on the work of Latif's poetry? क्योंकि मैं जानना चाहता हूँ कि लतीफ़ ने folk दास्तानों को किस तरह अपनी शायरी में यूज़ किया. How has he implied folk tales in his poetry? So that is the objective. मकसद क्या है? You know that whatever we do in our life, okay, there is a concrete object to that particular area. Without object, it will be useless. Okay, if there is no object, then it's useless. कोई भी चीज़ बगैर किसी मकसद के तो नहीं होती. There is object. So what is the objective of that study? या मैं ये स्टडी इसलिए करना चाहता हूँ, मैं देखना चाहता हूँ कि बदीन के अंदर जो पेपर कंडक्ट किए जाते हैं उसमें किस तरह के सवाल किए जाते हैं, क्यों, ताकि हमें पता चले कि आया वो सवाल सही प्रॉपर बनाए जाते हैं या नहीं, अगर हैं तो ठीक, अगर नहीं है तो सवाल को कैसे इम्प्रूव करना है. सो दैट इट कुड बी. So then after that we also here is a component where we say this rational means you have to rationalize your study. You have to provide a logical reason for conducting that research. It's very important. अगर आप ऐसी स्टडी करें जिसका कोई रैशनल नहीं है, जिसका कोई रीजन नहीं है, जिसका कोई मकसद नहीं है, then it will be useless pursuit, and ultimately it will not give benefit to anybody. So whatever the research is conducted, it should have certain implication and must be based on certain reason. There should be rationale, उसका कोई लॉजिक, कोई फैम, कोई इदराक, कोई सूझ, कोई ना कोई जो ना लॉजिकल कनेक्शन हो कि जी इसका ये मफहूम है, इसका ये मकसद है. So this rational bearing is necessary for a good research. Then we come to statement of problem or background for the study. कि जी ये प्रॉब्लम आपको कैसे सामने आई, कि उसकी वजह क्या थी. जी हम पढ़ा रहे थे तो हमें ये चीज़ सामने आई, तो मैंने सोचा कि क्यों ना हम इस को देखें कि ये क्वेश्चंस कैसे बनाए जाते हैं और स्टूडेंट्स की रिजल्ट क्यों अच्छा जो है ना वो अच्छी नहीं आ रही. तो डेफिनेटली देयर इज अ सर्टेन रीजन, कोई ना कोई बैकग्राउंड होता है किसी स्टडी के लिए, उसके पीछे लॉजिक्स क्या है. सपोज जी पाकिस्तान के पास जो तालीमी निज़ाम है ये अंग्रेज़ों के ज़माने से आया. अंग्रेज़ से पहले यहाँ पे मकतब या जो है ना वो मदरसा या शौला का निज़ाम था जहाँ पे संस्कृत, अरेबिक या पर्शियन ज़बान में पढ़ाया जाता था. उसके बाद अंग्रेज़ आए, उन्होंने अंग्रेज़ी ज़बान इंट्रोड्यूस की. अंग्रेज़ी ज़बान के बाद इंग्लिश एजुकेशन सिस्टम यहाँ पे आ गया. उसके बाद हमारा एजुकेशन सिस्टम जो होता था वो 2 साल के बाद उसकी जो है ना वो एग्ज़ाम कंडक्ट किए जाते थे. उसके बाद वी केम टू 1 year एजुकेशन सिस्टम, देन वी केम टू सेमेस्टर एजुकेशन सिस्टम आफ्टर 6 months. So by studying this thing, I want to see that how our education system has evolved, and out of this background, through this background of educational, various different educational development and system, where do we stand today? So I want to know. So this could be the background behind that thing and what's the statement. Then you suggest you present your statements of problem, that where is the problem and how you want to contribute answer to solution to that problem. Remember, first definition we discussed that research basically is a scientific inquiry to answer any question. So means you have any question, then we conduct a research to answer that question on a scientific basis. Number one. Number two, we will conduct research to solve any problem. There's a problem. Students are not getting proper results in your school. That is a problem. Students are unable to acquire English language skills. That is a problem. And you want to know that what are the reasons for that problems and how could we resolve that problem. So that reason, that sense, we go to the statement of problem, and then we just come in the connect it with this background, and finally we come to this. It could be right research questions or hypothesis. Now you have to mention that what is a research question. देखिए, these RQs, RQ means research question, is a different than a question, okay? Because the research questions में हम ये है कि आप कोई ना कोई questions develop करते हैं कि how Latif has used folk tales in his poetry. तो ठीक है, ये एक रिसर्च क्वेश्चन है. फिर आप उसको जाकर उसका जवाब ढूंढते हैं और जवाब के लिए आप डेटा कलेक्ट करते हैं. टीचर कैसे पढ़ाते हैं बदीन डिस्ट्रिक्ट में, दैट्स अ रिसर्च क्वेश्चन, एंड देन यू गो एंड फाइंड द आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन. या व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन अ प्राइवेट एंड द पब्लिक सेक्टर स्कूल एजुकेशन सिस्टम, और आप जाएंगे, आप इनके जवाब ढूंढेंगे. दिस कुड बी रिसर्च क्वेश्चन. हाइपोथेसिस यूं होती है कि हाइपोथेसिस एक इस एजुकेटेड गैस, एक एक अंदाज, एक अनुमान है, एक असम्पशन है ऑन द पार्ट ऑफ रिसर्चर, और वो समझता है कि चीज़ें ऐसे होती हैं. दैट इज अ पॉसिबल हाइपोथेसिस. In a hypothesis, suppose we have a two type of a hypothesis. Okay, it could be just एक hypothesis यूं होती है, that is a quite open hypothesis in which you mention particular aspect of that study, and you say that activity based teaching method is better than the lecture based teaching method. अब ये जो स्टडी है, if you will analyze this type of a study, here you are going to assert, to mention that lecture method, sorry, activity based method, teaching method is better than that lecture based teaching method. But you can make it closed in a sense, that will be the, if we change this thesis into in a closer term, then it will be uh, there will be significant difference when we teach students by using activity based methods and lecture based methods. Now, see, in this thesis, you are just referring these terms, but this is indirect hypothesis in which you are not going to mention directly that whether teaching lecture method is better or activity based method is better, but you simply say in indirect thesis, you simply put two different variables, and you believe that there is a difference, but what is difference, and which one is a better, you don't put in this indirect hypothesis. And in indirect hypothesis, you just keep it in between. Then the data is collected, the data is analyzed. After the collection and analysis of data, we come to certain conclusion whether that hypothesis is proved or not, whether lecture method is better or whether activity based method is better. Ultimately, it is being concluded. So it is concluded at the end. In that sense, we use this hypothesis. So direct hypothesis and indirect hypothesis. This I just gave you the basic concept of that. So this first chapter, what we call introductory chapter, that only talks about the introduction of the study scope, objectives, background, rationales, then such questions. You cannot use hypothesis and RQs at the same time. Either you choose the RQs and or you choose hypothesis. Then hypothesis, there could be one or two possible hypotheses in a thesis. And in the same way, there could be one or more than one research questions in a thesis or in a research article. It remains same. So this is the first chapter, what we call introductory chapters. This is the first part of a thesis. When you go further, in the next part of this, that is about the review of literature. And when we go to the this review of literature, in a review of literature, actually, you know that what is this chapter, chapter number 2, that in this regard, we try to evaluate and analyze and evaluate the research which has already been done on the topic what you have undertaken for your academic pursuit. How to conduct a review of literature, that is an independent topic, and we will discuss this in an independent lecture. Here, I simply give you the brief understanding of a review of literature, that it is conducted in order to know what type of work has already been done, and on that topic, on that particular field, what you have undertaken for a study. The reason is that why we conduct review of literature, first thing is that we don't need simple replica. For example, आप ये जानना चाहते हैं कि बदीन के एजुकेशन का लेवल क्या है और ऑलरेडी दो बंधु ने उसी पे काम किया हुआ है, then what is the use of your study? That is useless. Means it is not going to bring add something new in the existing wall of knowledge. The job of research is that to solve any problem, number one, to answer any question, number two, and to add something new in the existing wall of knowledge. इल्म की दुनिया में कोई नई चीज ऐड करना. So if simply you are doing a replica in a sense that it has already been done. So this is simple replica. It will not bring any positive change. It will not add something new. So first thing is that we must understand that how much work has been done in that particular field and topic you want to cover it. मिसाल के तौर पे यहाँ पे रिसर्च हुई है बदीन में कि लेक्चर मेथड और एक्टिविटी बेस्ड मेथड जो में से कौन सा अच्छा होता है. ठीक है, ज़बरदस्त दोस्तों, उसमें साबित हुआ है कि लेक्चर मेथड जो है ना वो से एक्टिविटी बेस्ड मेथड अच्छा होता है. अब अगर आप भी वही कुछ कर रहे हैं जो ऑलरेडी दो बंदे कर चुके हैं, देन दिस विल नॉट बी समथिंग एडिशन और समथिंग न्यू. अब आप ये कहना चाहते हैं कि जी मैं ये चूँकि ये पहले रिसर्च हो चुकी है कि जी एक्टिविटी बेस्ड मेथड या लेक्चर मेथड में कौन सा अच्छा है, बट आई वांट टू कंडक्ट अ रिसर्च कि वेदर गर्ल्स they feel more comfortable in lecture method teaching or in activity based method teaching. तो जब आप ये टॉपिक चुनेंगे तो फिर आपसे पूछा जाएगा कि जो आपको क्यों इसकी ज़रूरत पड़ी, क्या ओरिजिनल है. तो फिर आप इंट्रोडक्टरी चैप्टर्स में अपनी बात को कुछ यूँ लेवल करेंगे कि चूंकि हम जिस सोसाइटी में रहते हैं, ये एक हमारा जो कल्चर है, उस कल्चर के अंदर बचपन से औरत की या लड़कियों की जो तरबियत की जाती है, they are culturally trained or they are brought up in such an environment where they are taught or they are made to remain docile or shy or diffident, so and less interactive. So in that culture, by living in that society, traditions and cultural norms, it has been found that girls are generally less interactive, and they are more often they are found retiring or diffident or reserved or shy. So they may have some hindrances while studying in activity-based method teaching, whereas they may be comfortable in लेक्चर मैथड टीचिंग. क्योंकि जी हम जिस माशरे में वहाँ पे लड़कियों की इस तरह तरबियत की जाती है, तो वो लड़कों के साथ इंटरेक्शन करना ये वो अक्सर ज़्यादा रिजर्व्ड और डिफिडेंट होती हैं. तो मेरा ये मैं समझता हूँ कि शायद उनको एक्टिविटी बेस्ड मेथड में प्रॉब्लम आती हो. सो नाउ यू आर गोइंग टू कंडक्ट अ न्यू रिसर्च. दिस इज वेरी ब्यूटीफुल एडिशन कि पहले रिसर्च हुई थी कि विच मेथड इज अ बेटर, बट नाउ यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू कंडक्ट रिसर्च ऑन दैट विच मेथड इज बेटर, but you are going to conduct a research that which whether this method is good for girls or not. And again, why you are going to conduct research on the basis of the cultural practice where this in the society you are living in. So keeping those cultural norms and practices in view, you are going to conduct this research further. We go to this review of. So review of literature helps you to understand. For example, some you want to conduct research on the class magic, and you want to know that somebody has already done this research on boys, and you want to going to conduct research the teaching math to girls in class magic. Okay, that could be some new addition. So this is how एक बंदे ने ऑलरेडी जो है ना लतीफ़ के फोकलोर पे काम किया हुआ है, और आप ये देखना चाहते हैं कि जो अब फोकलोर पे ये तो काम हो चुका है कि लतीफ़ ने आपने कौन कौन से फोकलोर चुने हैं, लेकिन फिर आप उसमें मज़ीद एडिशन ये करना चाहते हैं कि उस फोकलोर को चुनने के साइकोलॉजिकल जो इम्पैक्ट रीडर पे क्या पड़ते हैं. तो दिस इज द एडिशन. अब तीसरा बंदा आएगा, वो कहेगा कि फोकलोर पे भी काम हो चुका है, साइकोलॉजिकल स्टडीज के इम्पैक्ट पे भी काम हो चुका है. मैं ये देखना चाहता हूँ कि लतीफ़ इन फोकलोर्स को इस्तेमाल करके पॉलिटिकल implications इसके क्या होते हैं. सो आई वांट टू वर्क. ओके, नाउ योर लेंस इज अ डिफरेंट. somebody took as a folklore as a lens, otherbody took psychological impact as a lens, and now you are taking political impact. Okay, और चौथा बंदा फिर आता हो सकता है कि जी मैं ये देखना चाहता हूँ कि ये जो लोग फोकलोर्स यूज किए थे उसके पीछे उसके लैंग्वेज के क्या इम्पैक्ट है. I want to check that thing. So this is the beauty of review of literature. Review of literature gives you in-depth understanding of that particular field and the topic, and how much work is already done in this topic, and how your work is addition or different Sometimes you believe that somebody have done a particular research work and they have proved or disproved something, and you don't agree with that point of view, and in that connection you bring their little review of literature and you analyze their work, and then you come to your understanding or your point of view, which is a different. तो आप कहते हैं जी ये चीज़ें जो हुई थी मेरी समझ में ये चीज़ें यूं होनी चाहिए थी, तो आप उनका रिव्यू करके उनके लिटरेचर्स को सामने रखकर फिर आप अपना पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू रखते हैं। फिर जो आपने मुख्तलिफ पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू रखा है उसको आगे चल के आप डेटा कलेक्ट करते हैं, then you just go with this thing. So that is very important area. So reviewer literature will give you a proper understanding of that topic, what is at hand, what you have undertaken to inquire or to want to do. So that will be review of literature. Now come to chapter 3. This is methodology. In a chapter 3 methodology, we talk about the different methods, methodology we use to conduct a research. So first is that we have already discussed about epistemological and ontological state. Ontological truth believes that whether the truth is constant or whether the truth is changing. So we have two these basic Greek philosophers. One believes that the truth is ever changing. This world is ever changing. It's emergent. And then we have this another philosopher who believes that the world is a constant and like that. But actually, the thing is that how do we want to know that truth? Then we have three epistemological aspects, whether it's objectivism, in which we believe that reality is just constrained or it is reserved to the object. Your simple interaction with the object would tell you whatever is there. So reality is only object bound. This is what objectivism believes. But then there's constructivism. They say that no, not only object is not sufficient to tell us the reality, but we also need interaction between the subject and the object. So this door is hard. It is objective reality, but this door is good or bad. It can't be objective reality. Once you use that door, then you come to this conclusion whether this is good or bad. So it needs door is hard. It could be objective reality, but door is good or bad. It needs. Okay, teacher. I am a teacher. This is objective reality. You would see that I'm a teaching, but I'm a good teacher or bad teacher. You can't just do decide with the help of this simple object by seeing me here in this situation. You can't decide I'm a good or bad teacher. For that, you need to interact with me. Then you would understand. You decide that whether I'm a good or bad teacher. तो मेट्रोलॉजी में तो हम पहले तो ये देखते हैं कि हम करना क्या चाहते हैं, क्या हमारा फिलोसॉफिकल क्वेश्चन क्या है, हम किस चीज़ को देखना चाहते हैं। तो आया आप रिसर्च की नेचर ऐसी है जो आप किसी ऑब्जेक्ट को ही देख कर तय करना चाहते हो, या ये कंस्ट्रक्टिव नेचर कंस्ट्रक्टिविज्म के जुमले में आती है जिसमें आपका और ऑब्जेक्ट का दोनों का आपस में इंटरेक्शन होगा। और जो थर्ड जो है जो सब्जेक्टिविज्म है, सब्जेक्टिविज्म में ये होता है कि डायरेक्ट सब्जेक्ट जो है ऑब्जेक्ट के ऊपर रियलिटी को इम्पोज कर देता है कि ये चीज़ मैं अच्छा टीचर हूँ या मैं बेहतर कॉम हूँ। So this would fall into the category of subjectivism. Three way to come to reality. So this three ontological states, okay, ये जो एपिस्टेमोलॉजिकल जो ना वो जो हैं उनके लिए फिर जो थ्योरेटिकल पर्सपेक्टिव आप उठाते हैं, जिस तरह हम जब ऑब्जेक्टिविज्म पे बात करें तो हम पॉजिटिविज्म को एज ए थ्योरेटिकल पर्सपेक्टिव उठा लेते हैं, लेकिन जब हम कंस्ट्रक्टिविज्म और जो ना वो सब्जेक्टिविज्म पे को जाना चाह रहे होते हैं तो फिर हमें जो इंटरप्रेटिविज्म जो ना उठाना पड़ता है, और उसके अंदर फिर हम फर्दर जो है ना जाते हैं मुख्तलिफ जो है ना वो आस्पेक्ट्स उठाकर थ्योरेटिकल पर्सपेक्टिव, जिसमें हम चीज़ों को एक्सप्लेन करने की कोशिश करते हैं कि वो चीज़ जो है ना वो कैसे, क्योंकि यहाँ पे हम समझते हैं कि अकेला ऑब्जेक्ट काफ़ी नहीं है उस चीज़ की हकीकत बताने के लिए। यहाँ पे सब्जेक्ट्स का जो उसके साथ इंटरेक्शन है, दोनों जब आपस में इंटरेक्ट करेंगे फिर पता चलेगा कि व्हाट इज दैट, और उस इंटरेक्शन के लिए इंटरप्रिटेशन की ज़रूरत है। सो ओनली ऑब्जेक्ट इज नॉट सफिशिएंट टू डिटरमिन द ट्रूथ, बट सब्जेक्टिव इन्वॉल्वमेंट इज नेसेसरी to come and explain like that thing. So we use this thing. So पहली बात ये, फिर उसके बाद आप देखेंगे आपके रिसर्च either is a qualitative or quantitative. If it is a quantitative, देखें ना क्वांटिटेटिव में ये होता है कि डेटा इज either numerical and you need a numerical tool to elaborate to analyze that data. अगर आपके पास जो data आ रहा है, जो information आ रही है, that's in digits, this is numerical, तो फिर आप जो है उनको analyze करने के लिए भी quantitative tool use करेंगे, like percentage, like average, like different regression model you would use. You would see that how many people are willing to study. So you would go to quantity. This is quantitative research. It wants to know the quantitative, and in quantitative research the data is in a quantity. अब कुछ हकीकत इतनी कितने लोग बीमार हैं अभी कोविड 19 में, दिस इज द क्वांटिटी है. So you have to go to that quantitative research. How many doctors are available? How many ventilators are available? How many hospitals are available? And what things you would require to provide them. So this will be pure quantitative. And then qualitative research is that when the data falls into the category of words, and then जब डेटा वर्ड्स में होता है तो फिर हमें उनको डेटा को जो एनालाइज करने के लिए जो हम टूल यूज करते हैं वो भी फिर जो है वो qualitative tools होते हैं for explanations, definitions, interpretations, evaluations, analysis, comparison, और इससे भी और ज़्यादा rigorous tool use करके we go with this analysis. So आप कौन सी research करें, either qualitative and quantitative. In the chapter of methodology, you have to discuss then what methods methodology you have chosen, and what methods you are using, whether this is experimental research, whether it's a quasi experiment research, whether it is this grounded theory research, you are guided by a theory, this is the deductive logic you are using, and either you are going to produce a new theory, this would be inductive approach. फिर आप कौन से मेथड यूज कर रहे हैं, व्हाट टाइप ऑफ सॉल्विंग यू हैव डन, व्हाट टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चनर्स you have done, what type of interviews have you done, either whether you have done document analysis, content analysis, semantic analysis, or critical textual analysis. So you have to explain these all things in the part of the part of methods. Then these approaches, techniques, tools, what we use to collection of data. Here, that's very important. I must tell you that how will you collect the data, how will you analyze the data. For both, you have to suggest that what tool you are using, what technique and what tool and method you are using. Whatever method you are using to collect the data and to analyze the data, you have to show that this method, this tool is valid, it has a validity and it's a reliability. These are the two technical terms what every researcher must understand. व्हाट इज वैलिडिटी. वैलिडिटी से मतलब ये है कि आप जिस चीज़ को मेजर करने की कोशिश करें वाकई भी वो उस चीज़ को मेजर करती है या ना. फॉर एग्जांपल, यू वांट टू मेजर द टेम्परेचर ऑफ पेशेंट और आप बैरोमीटर ले रहे हैं. आप बैरोमीटर वैलिड टूल ही नहीं है टेम्परेचर को चेक करने. So your study is not a valid. Your reading, whatever comes with the help of barometer, that won't be the valid reading. So first thing is that जो टूल आप, मैं कहता हूँ ये टेस्ट में आपसे ले रहा हूँ, ये आपके प्रेपोजिशन के स्किल चेक करेगा. पहले तो ये बात देखें कि वाकई भी उस टेस्ट के अंदर प्रेपोजिशन के स्किल चेक करने की सलाहियत है या नहीं. अगर है तो इट इज अ वैलिड टूल टू चेक द स्किल्स ऑफ प्रेपोजिशन. Then the second thing is that reliability. Reliability means कि वो टूल हर जगह पर वही जनरल रिजल्ट देता हो. सपोज आप सोने को चेक करने का जो मेथड है, if you will check that with the help of that method in Badin, Pakistan, America, anywhere, it is same. It will work same. It's reliable everywhere. So the tools must be well and reliable, and we explain these all things in the methodology chapter. What's a method, what epistemological or ontological stance you are using, what is your theoretical perspective, what methodology, methods, tools, techniques you have chosen to collect the data, then and again then to analyze the data. Remember, the way you collect the data, this could be different tool you will be using, and then to analyze the data, जब उस डेटा का तज्जिया करके उसमें से नताइज निकालें, that is another level. So you use another tool to analyze the data. In the both sense we use this. So chapter number 3 talks about this area. Then we come to this chapter number 4, and chapter number 4 is based on the data collections and analysis. Now this is the field when you collect your data, whatever the data you have collected, you present your data and then you sit to analyze it. So first, this is the collection of data, and then the collections of data, of course, you present the data, whatever you have found during your research studies and research activities. Then you present your data, and after this presentations of data, we go with this discussion analysis first. After analysis, we come to discussion. how many teachers are present and how many students are present and how they are teaching, how the students are learning. After doing this analysis, then we come to discussion overall the topic, that what is the research, what is the teaching of English in Badin, or how Latif is going to use simile for in order to represent the cultural, psychological feelings and understanding of the people, etc. So then you go for general discussion. This discussion is based on that data. This is how the research is different than other type of activities, because research is not based on mere assumption. It's purely based on concrete data, and your findings must be supported by data. For example, if anybody says कि बदीन का रिजल्ट खराब आता है और आप कहते हैं कि स्टूडेंट्स पढ़ते नहीं है, this is mere assumption. या आप कहते हैं कि जी टीचर पढ़ाते नहीं है, that's a mere assumption. This is not a research. This is not. So it's very easy to write any article in a newspaper. It will not take you much time. But write a research article, you will need great agility and hard work to complete a research article, because you need authentic data to support your argument. So in research, every argument is supported by data. अब ये कह देना कि बदीन का रिजल्ट खराब आता है, टीचर नहीं पढ़ाते, ये स्टूडेंट्स नहीं पढ़ते, इससे बेहतर तो ये दिस इज नॉट अ रियल रिसर्च ओरिएंटेड आंसर टू दिस प्रॉब्लम ऑफ क्वेश्चन. का हल ये है कि आप जाएं बदीन के तमाम स्कूल्स को विजिट करें, वहाँ पे पता करें कि टीचर्स हैं नहीं हैं, पढ़ाते हैं नहीं पढ़ाते, आते हैं नहीं पढ़ाते, आते हैं नहीं है नहीं आते, पढ़ते हैं नहीं पढ़ते. और इस पूरे रिसर्च के बाद आपको पता चले कि पूरे बदीन के अंदर सिर्फ 2 टीचर मौजूद है अंग्रेजी के, तो इसलिए रिजल्ट अच्छा नहीं आ रहा. नाउ सी व्हेन ओनली द 2 टीचर्स आर अवेलेबल इन द एंटायर डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफ Badin, how could they work for the betterment of the result? There's no chance. So what are the findings? Now findings are different. Previously we concluded that teachers don't teach properly, our students don't take interest, or etc. But now it is not just assumptions. This is based on data. After visiting all schools of Badin, we have concluded that there are only 2 teachers available in whole district. And in order to improve the result of English in Badin district, we need to appoint new teacher. अब क्या होता है कि आपके जो डेटा की जो फाइंडिंग्स आती हैं, फाइंडिंग की बुनियाद पर हम रिकमेंडेशंस देते हैं. रिकमेंडेशंस का मतलब ये होता है कि अब आप बता रहे कि इसका हल ये है. So your recommendations fall after the analysis of data. We come to the stage when we come to this uh, but these things would be the part of conclusion chapter, recommendations, etc. So the first thing in the fourth chapter, data collection, data analysis, we collect the data, we present the data, we analyze the data, and on that analysis, we go for the findings, and on the basis of findings, we go for discussion, and in the discussions, then we this final conclusion. Fifth chapter is a chapter conclusion where we go with this overall discussions of the all findings, and after that discussion of the findings, we come to the that recommendations. Recommendations से मुराद ये है कि आप इस आपकी फाइंडिंग्स की बुनियाद पर क्या कहना चाहते हैं कि हमें क्या करना चाहिए. आपने टीचर्स के पढ़ाने पे रिसर्च की, और बाद में आपने उसमें जो कुछ पाया आपके रिसर्च के दौरान, आखिर में आपने रिकमेंडेशन दी कि टीचर्स को ये करना चाहिए, तो इट विल बी बेटर for the learning of the students. And then finally, after recommendations, we add to reference section. Reference section basically हमें ये बताता है कि जो जो जितनी भी आपने जो स्टडीज कोट की हैं, उनके आप कंप्लीट जो है ना वो डिटेल्स रेफरेंस में देते हैं. अब अगर वो डिपेंड करता है कि आप किस तरह का मेथड यूज़ करें. अगर आप लिटरेचर यूज़ करें, लिटरेचर में स्टडी करें, तो हम एमएलए जो है ना वो यूज़ करेंगे. और जब हम रिसर्च के अंदर एमएलए यूज़ कर रहे होंगे, जो है ना वो हमारा जो रेफरेंस का जो मेथड है, तो फिर हम यहाँ पे रेफरेंस नहीं लिखेंगे, हम लिखेंगे वर्क साइटेड. ओके, तो उसका जो तरीक़ेकार होता है, देन वी यूज़ वर्क साइटेड. सो इट डिपेंड्स दैट वेदर यू आर यूजिंग रिसर्च. हमारे पास मुख्तलिफ तरीक़ेकार हैं रेफरेंस के इस रिसर्च में. हमारे पास एमएलए है, और हमारे पास एपीए है, शिकागो है, इवन ऑक्सफर्ड जो है ना वो सिस्टम है, ऑक्सफर्ड मेथड है. तो दीज आर डिफरेंट मेथड ऑफ साइटेशन. आप उसको किस तरीके से जो है ना वो यूज़ करते हैं, इट डिफर्स फ्रॉम द अदर वन. तो हमें जो भी मेथड यूज़ करना है, वेदर यू आर यूजिंग एपीए मेथड or MLA method, you need to be consistent with entire throughout your thesis with that pattern. If it is MLA, then it must be based on MLA. एमएलए में हम जो है ना वो कोटेशंस को कैसे रेफर करते हैं, और वहाँ पे हम जो है ना राइटर्स के नाम की जगह पर बुक्स के नाम देते हैं और उनके पेज नंबर देते हैं। एपीए स्टाइल में हम राइटर का नाम देते हैं और ईयर ऑफ पब्लिकेशन देते हैं। तो इस तरीके से हमें जो ना उस रेफरेंस का जो भी आपने पैटर्न यूज किया है, वेदर एपीए, एमएलए, शिकागो, दिस ऑक्सफोर्ड और अदर वन, इट डिपेंड्स, इट्स प्योर योर चॉइस। ये आपकी चॉइस भी होती है, लेकिन साथ में जिस सब्जेक्ट पे आप काम करें उसके लिए कुछ बाइंडिंग्स भी होती है कि इस फील्ड में ये सब्जेक्ट जो है ना यूज़ किया जाता है। जैसे अक्सर लैंग्वेजेस में और साइंस में जो है ना लोग जो है एपीए को इस्तेमाल करते हैं, या शिकागो मेथड को ज़्यादा हिस्ट्री में प्रेफर किया जाता है, और लिटरेचर के अंदर एमएलए मेथड को डिस्कस किया जाता है। सो दीज आर डिफरेंट मेथड्स what we use for the citations of that material, books, articles, what we quote in that study. So at the end is a list of all those books. Okay, and there will be exclusive class for this citation different models made PMLA. We would conduct a separate exclusive class on these different referencing method, and we would also try to learn that how these different referencing patterns or methods are used. So thank you very much for this understanding of this class. I hope that this class would help you to understand. Please keep listening these classes in your free time whenever you feel free. Just it's available every time on YouTube. You can download, you can listen it. Then it is also available in MLS program, LMS software of Unix and Jamshoro. So wherever you feel comfortable, listen to them. And whatever the questions you have, we would go through that interactive session where we would take all your questions, and I would try my level best to answer your queries and questions. Till that, take very much care of yours. May Allah bless you. Stay safe and take very much care of yours and your family. We are going through a very hard days of this COVID-19. I hope that you would behave as a responsible person, and you would also take care of your life, your health, your society, as well as you would also contribute and spare time for your studies so that your studies may not suffer. We all are passing through these hard days. It's not very easy for anybody, not for us, not for you. But the question is that we need to work together, and I hope that with the collective efforts we can do something in this life. I know that you have many challenges for joining or going through these online classes. We all are aware of these things, but the thing is that something is better than nothing. Whatever we are trying our level best to record and share this material with you. And I hope that you will also be learning and listening to this material, video lectures, and also giving time, proper time to your studies. So take good care of yours. Thank you very much.